I mean, the season itself was definitely a challenge. We had a group of about 10 players that we brought in this year, which is always going to present certain challenges. And I think the thing that we struggled with throughout the season was bringing our new core of players and joining them with our returning players. Definitely, like I said, a lot of talent was definitely in place. And I think the initial start of the season, where we kind of tripped up, definitely kind of set us back and maybe prevented us from getting to a level that maybe we felt comfortable with. But I mean, in the end, I still think there was a lot of positives to take away from the season. I mean, I definitely think we improved. Unfortunately for us, our region is definitely pretty challenging, and we don't play the lightest schedule. So, like I said, for the most part, you know, we were always going to have to play well in order to be successful. And I think basically we just didn't play well enough. I think if you look at the score lines on our games, for the most part, the games were competitive. We took the lead in quite a few games, but just weren't able to kind of sustain the level that we needed to hold on to those leads. So, like I said, definitely a lot of good positives in terms of the season. For the most part, in terms of moving forward, Alex Blandon was one of our first-year players who earned second-team All-Conference, which we're very excited about for him. You know, like I said, Jaron Nantakumar is another freshman we talked about earlier, who had a very, very good first year for us. Ryan Lucas was a sophomore player for us who stepped up and had an excellent season. So, I mean, I think there's definitely a lot to take from this season. Unfortunately, the results we were looking for going in maybe didn't necessarily materialize, but I still think we've got a bright future. Like I said, you know, this time of year is a little unique for the simple fact that obviously our fall season kind of ended. And I think one of the most important things is that academically we're setting ourselves up to be successful. So we generally try to use this time for the players to try to get caught up, if you will, in some of their courses going into the final exams, because obviously it's just a very important time of the year. Then basically, obviously, we'll break for the winter holidays, which I think will be a nice respite for a lot of our first-year players, just because there's been a lot going on since they got here in August. And then basically, once we come back, we'll kind of get back together and start working out and just kind of keeping them active during the course of the first part of the spring semester, weight training, conditioning, agilities, some individual skill work, things of that nature, probably from the first part of January until towards the end of February. And then once the end of February comes, first part of March, we'll start to get together in our non-traditional season and start getting together, working together as a team. We've got some players we want to try to, and maybe some new positions, looking towards the fall of 2011. So definitely looking forward to the spring season because it'll give us a chance to kind of look at a few players that maybe we didn't get a chance to look at earlier this past fall, or players that we did get to look at, but we want to try them in some different positions, maybe some different combinations, just to give us a different look and a different feel for the 2011 season. Okay. In regards to recruiting for the 2011 season, I mean, we're looking at a wide range of players right now. Obviously, we had 5 seniors that will lose to graduation. Like I said, Clark in net, you know, Julian, Justin, and Yvonne in the back, and then Chris Fortansky up front, who also spent some time in midfield. You know, so for the most part, we're looking at pretty much every area within the team in terms of in the goal, in the back, up front, you know, even possibly in midfield as well. And so there's maybe some specific areas centrally out wide that will obviously maybe want to put a little bit more emphasis. But for the most part, you know, we're definitely looking at players that we think can offer something in those particular areas of the field. You know, for the most part, obviously they need to be able to compete athletically, physically on the field. And like I said, with our region being so strong and so talented, that's definitely going to be something that's of importance. And like I said, obviously technically we want them to be talented and comfortable on the ball. And be able to offer something when we are in possession of the ball. Like I said, obviously academically they need to be strong students and be comfortable with the demands that it takes to comes along with being a student athlete. Excuse me. And like I said, we want them to fit in with our team dynamic. That's one thing that I think we definitely did a pretty good job this year, and the players we brought in is that I thought they meshed well. Maybe not necessarily on the field in terms of games, but I thought they all got along. I thought we were always moving forward. Like I said, I thought that they all got along quite well. I thought we were always moving forward. I didn't think we had any disruptions in terms of team chemistry or things of that nature. So even though it's something that it's difficult to identify, I still think there's a value that can be placed on it in terms of recruiting.